This time I'll show you a device that I say is for the Immortals, and I'll explain to you in this video. Let's roll the intro. Behold, the Valyrian by Uwell. So this is the packaging that you'll get when you buy this product. So their social media says Uwell there, warnings. At the back, it's got the package inclusions, more warnings, contact details for the manufacturer. So I got the Valyrian pod system in black. Got a QR code right here. So let's open this one up. I won't be peeling that off. I'll just push it out like so. This is interesting. A plastic container. And what's inside is Valyrian. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. You know what? There's something that comes in my mind whenever I see Valyrian. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, most likely you'll have a recall of this name. So let's see what's inside. There you go. The actual device in itself. It's got more and more Valyrian in here. However, in the device itself, the only time that you'll see Valyrian is most likely at the bottom. If I can just get this thing to focus. Focus. Come on. There. Valyrian. Well, enough of this. We'll discuss this more later. So, let's see what else is inside. So we got here a user manual that's only in English. More warnings. Doesn't you will get tired of putting too many warnings in here? But I think that's okay. After all, this is a vaping device. And the rest of the content. Imagine having your desiccant in its separate slot. Interesting. And you got here a USB cable, micro USB. And well, let's see what we got here. Trying to pull this one out. Spare O-rings. Let's just put that back for good measure. And this one right here that says Uwell is a particularly long OCC coil for the Valyrian. And this one reads out at 0.6 ohms. The one that's pre-installed in the actual device is a 1 ohm coil. So let's put this one to the sides. And now back to the star of the show, the Uwell Valyrian. It's got VLRN right there. Same goes to the other side. This side's got nothing on it, but you can see part of the cartridge section right here that we'll discuss later. Other side, you'll see a little V here. Looks like this is the LED indicator. Fire button. Not so flush, but that's alright. Responds quite well. And this hole right here is your airflow control. We already checked the bottom. It says Valyrian there. If I can just get this thing to focus. There. Valyrian and the USB, micro USB connection on this side. Other side are venting holes for the battery. Safety purposes. So, for this particular part, you'll see Profox right there. The airflow control on this side, so it's like a notch that goes up and down. Other side is your juice meter, or the side that you'll see once you put this in this thing right here, and an indicator of when you should fill this thing up with juice. So at the top, you got there your fill port. All you have to do is pull it this way and You may think that this doesn't have a hole, but actually it does. Let me just grab something to poke this thing. Okay, you'll notice here that you can actually poke in here and it will open up. This is more to prevent juice from flowing out. See, as soon as I poke it, some juice came out. Just close that in. At the bottom is your OCC slot. If you'll notice, there's a notch right there where you can pull the OCC from side to side. And just try to do this without making too much mess. This one's tough. There. So that's how you pull it. But I won't like pull it all the way out, putting it back in. Just a little demonstration there. And there goes another Valyrian. Uwell has really done a great job of putting the name Valyrian all over this device, from the packaging all the way down to the device itself. And as I mentioned earlier, the way to fill this up is to open the slot right here, stick the nozzle of your juice inside that hole, press until you fill this cartridge with juice. So, since this one is already pre-filled, let's just slot this one in. Let me check the insides first. So, just contacts and no signs of any other things in here. However, if you would notice, there's actually a groove on this side that actually fits to a groove that you'll feel on this side. It's just hard to see because it's black, just like your neighbor in the dark. Oh, you can see from there are grooves there. So even if you slowly push this, suddenly boom, it will go down. I'm not sure if there's a magnet inside this thing or it's just something to do with the construction that makes it go down like so. But of course, you still have to press it all the way in. So this one is a combination of press fit and a little magnet. Turn on the device. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there goes the V LED. And that's pretty much all I'll discuss in the close-up. So let's go up top, vape this device, and tell you my thoughts on the Valyrian by Uwell. So yeah, back on top once again with the Valyrian by Uwell. So let's talk pros and cons in this product, starting off with the cons. First off, I can barely see a thing from that juice window on the sides. Sure, it is intended for you to see how much juice you have left in here. However, it takes a certain kind of lighting for you to see what's inside. So I'll put that in as a con. Next three cons will actually amplify the pros. So let's begin. First con. It's only got a fire button and an LED indicator. Nothing more. No screens, no wattage adjustment, no change in modes, none of all those things. And next con is it doesn't even have auto draw, which is understandable considering that the airflow on this particular device comes from the sides, not from the bottom. I put that in as a con simply because most devices that are designed like this with no buttons and no extra buttons and all usually has auto draw. But this one dropped that particular function. Next con, this one is a bit nitpicky. They could have just opted for a design where they can switch up the drip tips, but instead they went for a solid mouthpiece that is part of the entire cartridge itself. So the obvious lack of customization for me can be a subjective con. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the cons. And the pros have actually outweighed the cons in my opinion. Starting off with flavor. Flavor on this one is amazing. The nicotine hit on this is really hard, and the flavor detail is there. Pretty much like what I would expect from Uwell, considering that they are the ones who have made the Caliburn and the Caliburn Cocoa, which are both amazing devices. Next pros that I will mention is the reason why I call this the device or the vape for the Immortals. It's got a 1250 milliamp hour battery capacity and a 4.5 milliliter juice capacity. If you slap in the 1 ohm coil in here, your juice will last up to 3 days without refilling, even if you vape like me, or if you vape harder, maybe just 2 days. But the battery capacity, you will last for up to 4 days or even more, since all those bells and whistles that can consume power are all stripped away. I really like the way that Uwell thought of this particular product, because they went the simple route and just made this device as simple yet very efficient as it can possibly be. And they also went for a mouthpiece that, yeah, sure, it's not customizable, but it's still comfortable. Anyone can get away with that, I suppose. Next pro, airflow control. Sure, some of the other products with this battery capacity has airflow control. Yeah, some of them don't. And this one used an adjustable airflow control on the sides, so you don't need to get your fingers wet with going at the bottom, doing something like this, touching the OCC and possibly touching some leakage. No, they all went to the sides, like so. There. I prefer mine just around the middle for the 1 ohm coil pre-installed in this device. And speaking of leaks or moisture, I'm seeing none in this one. None. Always a good thing. See how Uwell has thought of this product? I'm really amazed of whoever designed this product, because the way they dropped all the things that could have made a very technically sophisticated mod or pod and turned into this elegant yet high performing device in terms of battery capacity, juice capacity, flavor. That ProFox technology on this particular device for flavor really hits the money for me. So if I'm going to categorize this particular product, definitely a main device. You can bring this for more than a single day without worrying about charging it, and also the juice capacity, knowing that it will last 2-3 days, you will always have a predicament of when exactly will you fill up this particular device. So if you happen to come across one of these, I highly recommend it. So this goes up top of those devices that is your one device is all you need. Simple, looks good, but it performs and it lasts. Just like Immortals. And that's pretty much it for me. I appreciate you watching this video. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Kai Defiant Vaping, and hit that notification bell. And if you're watching this on Facebook, don't forget to like and follow Kai Defiant Vaping for more good stuff coming your way from Kai Defiant Vaping. That's it for me, and I'll see you guys later.